it is a potential MCQ. Remember that growth pattern in human beings is number one, there are two characteristics, cephalocaudal, and second, it is distal to proximal. Next, we come to the growth patterns in case of human beings. Now, it is a potential MCQ. Remember that growth pattern in human beings is number one, there are two characteristics, cephalocaudal, and second, it is distal to proximal. What is cephalocaudal? Cephalo means head, caudal means the tail end. It proceeds from up to down. So, in the central axis, the growth is from top to bottom, and in the extremities, the growth is distal to proximal. Distal to proximal means, first of all, the fingers elongate, then your palm, then your forearm, and then your arm. The same thing happens in the lower limbs as well. So, the human growth is cephalocaudal and distal to proximal. Questions can be asked. How MCQ can be asked in super speciality? They may ask you what is correct regarding the growth pattern in humans. Four options will be there. First option, cephalocaudal, distal to proximal. Cephalocaudal, proximal to distal. Caudocephalic, distal to proximal. Caudocephalic, proximal to distal. Your answer will be A, that is cephalocaudal and distal to proximal. So, this is the first thing that you need to remember. But the entire human being does not grow in the same pattern. Different organs grow at different rates. And for that, we have the growth curves defined for four major organ systems. These growth curves are called as Scammonn's curves. This is important. You have been reading about Scammonn's curves since long time, since your MBBS days, but probably you don't know that the name of these curves is Scammonn's curves. So, Scammonn's curves are defined for four major types of growth. First growth is the somatic growth. This is how the somatic growth pattern looks like. So, you can put the heading here, somatic growth. It also refers to the general body growth pattern. Somatic growth shows a curve pattern known as sigmoid shaped. So, it is a sigmoid pattern which is seen, S-shaped curve. So, S-shaped curve, initially in the first 2 years of life, there is a rapid growth, then it becomes a bit stable. It is increasing, but it is not very high. But as soon as 9 to 10 years of age comes and puberty begins, again there is a pubertal growth spurt, so it rises. So, rises, becomes stable, then rises again. So, this is known as sigmoid growth curve or somatic growth pattern. You may get a visual on this. They may put an unlabeled photograph and ask you which organ system shows it. It is not the organ system, the entire body, the overall somatic growth pattern of any child, of any human being shows this pattern. The second pattern is this. This pattern is seen in patients with brain growth or the central nervous system growth or the neurological tissue growth. Brain growth is rapid in the first 2 years of life. Almost, if you see here, almost 90% growth occurs in the first 2 years of life. After that, only 10% growth subsequently happens. So, growth, maturation will continue, but the growth is in the form that initially there is a rapid rise in the first 2 years, then it becomes like a plateau. That is known as brain growth pattern, which is seen as depicted here. The third pattern is something like this. This is a pattern which indicates the growth of lymphoid tissue or lymphoid growth. Lymphoid growth is maximum, if you see here, it is maximum in this period. This is the period from 4 to 8 years. So, initially lymphoid tissue starts increasing, then lymphoid tissue undergoes a rapid expansion. This is the time during which palpable lymph nodes even in normal children are very common, and after 8 to 10 years the lymphoid tissue starts to regress a bit and then it becomes stable and adult values attained. So, this type of pattern, growth peak between 4 to 8 years and then becoming static. Some regression happening mainly in the nasopharyngeal tonsils and some pharyngeal tonsils, and other tissues it becomes static. That is known as lymphoid growth pattern. And the fourth pattern is this. This is the typical growth pattern. It was almost normal till 11 or 12 years, and at 12 years there is a rapid upshoot. Puberty is happening here. So, this is the gonadal growth pattern. also called as reproductive tissue growth pattern, which becomes active once the puberty begins. So these are the 4 growth patterns which you need to know in details, and questions can be asked not only in statement based form but even in visuals. How visuals can be asked? They can put up a photograph like this, combined photograph, okay, and they would label it as A, B, C and D, and they would put, look at the 4 growth curves shown for a normal human being or a normal human child and identify and mark the correct option. Now 4 options will be given with each one corresponding to A corresponding to brain growth, A corresponding to somatic growth, B corresponding to this, C corresponding to that. You need to be clear that this type of sigmoid growth curve, this B growth curve, is indicating the somatic growth pattern. This C part is showing your brain growth pattern. D part is showing your lymphoid growth pattern, and peak occurring around 12 years or beyond 12 years of age is the one which is showing a gonadal growth pattern. So this is just a simplified way. This was my perspective of telling you how you should anticipate questions. If you know how to anticipate questions, you prepare according to that. The rules remain the same even in super specialty. Nothing should surprise you. If you get surprised in the exam, you tend to falter and you tend to make mistakes. Now, what are the facts and one-liners you need to remember? Maximal lymphoid growth occurs between 4 to 8 years of age, potential MCQ one-liner. Hormones important in fetal growth. There are 3 hormones which are important for fetal growth. One is insulin, second is thyroxine, and third is glucocorticoids. Remember that although growth hormone is detectable in a fetus, it has little to no role in the fetal growth. So MCQ can be asked to you in super specialty exam. All of the following have a major role in fetal growth except 4 options will be given, the odd one out, and the answer will be growth hormone. It has no role in a fetus. And third one-liner, thyroxine secretion in a fetus begins at 12 weeks of gestation. So these are some one-liners mentioned in books that you need to know.